So I fired up the old Xbox Series the other day, just trying to get some gameplay on the OGs, a little Black Ops 2, a little Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2, my first 3 games, hackers in every single lobby. My first game, Black Ops 1, we had 2 on the other team, cheating. And then my second game, it threw me into a game in progress. The game is almost over. I don't know if there's any cheaters in there. But at that point, I was just like, damn, man, like, I love these games. It's just, dude, the mental, you know, you played those games to death, and I would love to go back and enjoy them. But when this is the nonsense you got to deal with constantly, though, it's frustrating. You're kind of over it at that point. So I've been getting asked a lot. And even though I made a video covering this because I was getting requested to come back to Modern Warfare Deuce and a Half, I've still been getting asked if I could upload a little bit of Modern Warfare Deuce and a Half. And I said, screw it, man. Let's just go ahead and download a little Modern Warfare Deuce and a Half. So we downloaded this real quick, jumped on for a couple of games. I'm going to show you a little bit of both of those games. And I'm telling you, dude, I had a blast. Not because I was just like going ham, like I was in complete bot lobbies and everything. There's a lot of weaker players on this game right now, man. I'm telling you, Call of Duty is a beautiful thing. Even these new gen pussy era CODs with the worst matchmaking we've ever seen. Like these games, you see them in a different light though when you're not being strangled by that algorithm, by that matchmaking. And man, I'm telling you, I had a great time in these games. Like I was sitting back, dude. I wasn't taking anything serious at all. I wasn't even listening to audio in these gameplays that you guys are seeing. I was sitting all the way back in my chair. I had my feet up, like I was chilling. I didn't even bother adjusting any of my classes. Whatever blueprint I had for those guns, that's just the class that I made. And I was already rusty with the Xbox controller anyways. I was like, we was just having a great old time, man. I'm telling you, like Call of Duty could be so much fun. Even these shitty modern era CODs, even Modern Time Limit 2019. That game's a pretty hard game to have any fun on, man. But if it didn't have the matchmaking that it had, we could have had a lot more fun. But anyway, speaking of skill-based matchmaking, Tom Henderson finally posted his little interview he had with the sick, sadistic freak behind who made the matchmaking in Call of Duty. They just talk about skill here, which is kind of funny to me because with Call of Duty, it's much more complex than that. We all know this. It's however they can funnel you to buy more bundles. That's what the matchmaking is. It's bundle matchmaking. And I read the whole thing here. I'm going to be honest. I expected there to be a lot more. There was a few things that I actually agree with. A couple of things that I hard disagree with. A couple of things that this dude is talking out of both sides of his mouth a little bit. Some of it was just like a nothing burger. But I want to go over this part of this little interview with you guys. So when asked for a solution to skill-based matchmaking, Tom Henderson asked Olson, the dude that made this matchmaking, Olson believes that it is needed to ensure long-term sustainability for a live service game. Pause, man. Like Call of Duty is not a live service. Why do we keep calling Call of Duty a live service game? It's a premium title. They charge full price for it every single year, man. Yeah, just because they got the bundles in there and shit doesn't make it a live service game. Like, where are these people getting these terms from, man? It's just trying to justify their bullshit. But this matchmaking is needed to ensure long-term sustainability. I wasn't sure if I was going to make this video because I've talked about this shit so much in so many different videos. But, you know, here we are. And I always keep going back to the same points that I've made in many different videos, dude. I've been here since COD 4. You know what I mean? We've been around the block. We've been in the trenches. We've been here, all right? I was a noob in COD 4 getting my ass handed to me. We did not have any protection. I, along with everybody else who started on that game that are still here today as hard as it is, we never left the franchise, dude. All those lobbies I smacked around back in Black Ops 1 and MW2 and all the other YouTubers out here and everybody else who was pub stomping back then. Nobody quit the game, dude. Actually, Call of Duty was way more healthier back then than it is now. It became the juggernaut that we know it as today, which is bleeding players, which is comedic gold. But it was healthier back then when it didn't have this suffocating, debilitating, unforgiving matchmaking. Like, these dudes will just say anything to try to justify their bullshit, all right? Call of Duty was way more healthy when it didn't have this nonsense in it. But anyways, he goes on to say, the massive problem with skill-based matchmaking is that you don't know what league you're in anymore. Skill-based matchmaking takes away the sense of skill and mastery. There's less skill feedback. Stats don't matter as much. KD is less of a bragging right. It's a serious design problem, really. He continued, if you're trying to get better at the game, skill-based matchmaking just rewards you with tougher opponents. Facts. I'd even say that skill-based matchmaking punishes players for being good. Also, facts. I've been saying this shit on this channel for years. And he goes on to finish it up with, that's unfair and players are right to complain about it. All right, so we're right to complain about it, but you're here to talk about it. It's needed. The game was healthier before we ever had it, but now apparently it's needed to keep the game going for sustainability. Like, you see what I'm getting at here, right? Like, dude really isn't making too much sense with all of this. Like, yeah, he understands it's an issue. It's a problem. Good players are being punished for being loyal to the game, sticking with the franchise. They're punished for that. And he's trying to say that, well, that punishment is needed, though, in order to keep the game alive, even though it was way better, way more healthy in the past before we ever seen this shit. But anyways, Olson finishes this out with, he thinks one solution is to reward players with more XP for being better at the game and a skill rating. He starts talking about skill ratings, your MMR. Transparency. Apparently now transparency is a good thing. We've been asking Call of Duty for years and years to tell us what's going on with the matchmaking in Call of Duty, and they just ignored everybody, brushed it off to the side. It was like, they wouldn't talk about it, man. Like, it was like fucking taboo or some shit. They had their developers under NDA. They wouldn't talk about this shit because they knew it was crusty. And I call complete bullshit, dude. Like, I don't know. I know there's people out here saying this. Like, they just want to know what their MMR is in pubs. Like, we don't need MMR in pubs. We don't need a skill rating in pubs, just like we don't need the actual skill-based matchmaking in pubs. The problem is people, like, yeah, that's the least of what they could do. The least of what they should have been doing for years is to give us some type of reward for playing in these bitch-ass matches, man. But the problem is people are coming home from work who are still decent at the game, and they're punished for being decent at the game after working an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift. There's no option to go anywhere but to sweat. That's it. Even people, and I find this hilarious too, a lot of people try to say that if you're in sweaty lobbies, it's because you're a sweat. The history of videos on my channel is irrefutable factual proof that that is complete and total bullshit. Because anybody who watches this channel, you guys know I'm anything but a sweat. Yeah, I might have my little moments here or there, like once every 5 games or something like that. I might have like a 2-minute piece of a game where I go all out just because I'm closer to a streak or whatever. That is it. We are not a sweat on this side, and we are constantly put in professional MLG tournaments with the biggest sweats you've ever seen on the face of the earth. Complete and total bullshit. It goes by your statistics and what Call of Duty thinks needs to happen to you. Do you need to be rewarded because you had a bunch of bad games, or do you need to be punished because you had a few good games? It's time to get punished, man. It's time to make sure you go double, triple negative. Engagement optimized matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking doesn't belong in pubs no matter how you try to spin it. If somebody feels the need to be protected, if they feel like they need their hand held, run it over to rank then. If you want to play against people of your skill all the time, go and play ranked. There is your protection. There's your bubble of protection. Go play ranked. That's what it's there for. People who just want a good connection, you can sit back and chill. Sometimes you're going to get stomped. Sometimes you're going to do the stomping, but you're always going to have a good connection, and there's a randomness in your lobbies. There's a variety there. People using different guns, different play styles, different strats, different everything. It keeps the game fun. That's what pubs is for. I'm tired of this bullshit about skill-based matchmaking, dude, but it's much more than that with Call of Duty. It's way worse than that with Call of Duty, because very rarely are you ever playing a bunch of bots on the other team or anything like that. You'll get some bots on your team though, but you'll be up against a 6-stack of beasts, and now you're just fucked. No matter what you do, you're fucked. Like that's really the only time you see bots in your lobby, is you get a few of them on your team, man. You're up against a whole bunch of scumps. It's complete and total bullshit, and it doesn't belong in pubs. But don't let the bots hear you say that. These Call of Duty simp super freaks, don't let them hear you say that, man, because most of them out here soldiering for Activision and Call of Duty, they marinate that butthole on a daily basis. Like Activision just on a daily, man, flambeing these nerds' butthole. They got them grabbing their ankles on a daily basis, spreading them cheeks for the screen for Daddy Activision. They're going to do whatever Activision wants or tells them to do. Buy this bundle. Our game is broken as shit. Who cares? Here's a $30 bundle. Go and buy it. And these nerds will go and buy it. And instead of playing the game that they call a masterpiece, they get out here online hating on anybody who says mean words about the video game or the matchmaking. That protection they so desperately need in a public match in the video game. Don't let them hear you talk about this shit, man. Oh, they get mad as hell. It's the bots, man. It's the bots. Most of the people that defend this matchmaking in COD is the trash can. It's the bots. Let's be real here. But that's all I got for this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video. And we should be back with one tomorrow. We'll probably talk about this AI bullshit for our next video. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see when we get there. I'll talk to you on the next one.